LeBron James is among the worst shooters of the top 75 players. Let's get into this video. Brace yourself, LeBron fans. Brace yourselves. You guys say stats don't lie, but you never look at the stats.
All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. Really appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to 3Crazy83. Thanks again, my man, for the generous super thanks and your continued support. Really appreciate it. In this video,
that's a nice background he has there. Whoa, he got the Jordan All-Star jersey. That may have been the 2003 one. The Bulls one. LeBron ain't no GOAT. That's hilarious. Anyways.
Video here, something that I did some research on, and I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp.
Baseball philosophy for agent is the catalyst for my growth. It's going to take me to the next step.
My agent will use LeBron James' field goal percentage as some proof that he's a good shooter, like in any circumstances. That's the cases they always try to make. They'll compare his field goal percentage to that of Michael Jordan's. And we all know how ridiculous this stuff is.
And honestly, common sense wise, if you're closer to the basket, isn't it a bigger chance to make the shot? Isn't a layup easier than a 2-point shot? Isn't a layup easier than a 3-point shot? When you look at LeBron, what are most of his field goals? Dunks and layups. If most of your field goals are the easiest way possible to score, shouldn't your field goal percentage be higher, right? The LeBron fans don't actually know basketball. They only know how to look at stats that make their GOAT look better. They don't actually dig into it and find out more. Anyways.
Who knows the game of basketball knows players who play closer to the rim
there you go.
are going to get a higher field goal percentage.
Duh.
Like DeAndre Jordan, he's the highest field goal percentage in NBA history. Shaq, how many field goal percentage titles did he win? But a player who plays farther from the rim, not as much. Now, before anybody gets into the whole, well, LeBron shoots a lot of threes, he has shot more in the last half of his career. Absolutely. But he has shot, in the course of his career, 35% of his shots are within 3 feet of the basket.
3, 4, 9,
30, okay.
8, and 55% shooting. And when we're just comparing the two players, LeBron shoots a better percentage from 2, shoots a better percentage from 3.
Look at it. When he shoots the ball 20 times or less, he's 51% from the floor. That's LeBron. 20 to 24 shots, he's 50% from the floor. 25 to 29 shots, he's 50% from the floor. When he takes 30 or more shots, he's 49% from the floor. So that just lets you just how extremely efficient he is.
It's a lie. It's a lie. You just need to watch him play. And his time in Miami really showed that. When him and Dwayne Wade decided not to take threes, how their field goal percentages skyrocketed. You wonder why. They go to the basket most of the game. Wait till LeBron lobs were like it was happening at least twice a game. Obviously the field goal percentage is gonna be higher. Doesn't mean it's a better score than everybody else. No. Like LeBron fans are so stupid. I promise they're stupid. Modern ones. Maybe not the ones back then that knew a little bit of basketball. The ones now. They don't think. They just say whatever. They repeat what these guys say. A football player, not even a basketball player, a football player looking at numbers, not watching the games.
Shot the ball about 23 and a half times. LeBron James shoots the ball 19 and a half times per game. LeBron averages 27 points a game. Jordan averages 30. So just by simple mathematics, even if you take, he's going to miss the free throw. You let LeBron shoot 3.5 more times per game, that puts him at 30. But if you just look at it, Jordan averaged more points, but LeBron averaged more rebounds, more assists, shot a high percentage from the field, shot a high percentage from the three. It is what it is.
So this got me thinking. You really think LeBron James is that good of a shooter because of field goal percentage? You think that's telling of how good a player is shooting the basketball in any situation?
No.
Layups, dunks, putbacks, uncontested shots, 3-4 feet from the basket, you're going to have a high percentage. That doesn't tell you anything.
It doesn't.
What about farther back, like in traffic? Most 3-pointers are uncontested. Most people, unless they're like Steph Curry or Damian Lillard or some of these modern guys, don't shoot threes with somebody right on them. And if they do, they usually use a moving pick for the space they need or the step back that you now get to create that space.
Exactly.
To shoot a three.
Exactly.
If somebody's got a hand right in your face, you're not going to shoot a 3 right on them. You're going to block it. How did LeBron James stack up versus the other top 75 players in NBA history shooting the ball?
Let's get into it.
There's 2 ways I looked. The first one was the mid-range, 10 to 16 feet, and then 16 feet to the three-point line. Those are the 2 mid-ranges. It's only been tracked since 1997. There's a total of 30.
So when you pay attention to how LeBron plays, right, what do people normally do defensively against him? They sag off. They force him to shoot the ball. Why do you think? It's not just because he's good at going to the basket. He's bigger than everybody else, stronger than everybody. It was also because he's not that great of a shooter. Get it through your heads. The stats are about to show it. For the stat nerds out there that never want to look at relevant stats, he's about to show it. He's not even going to mention turnovers and missed free throws. Well, I hope he does.
76 of the top 75, which is actually 76 players, that you could see at least one season of what they shot by different range. So what I did is I did a little comparison of all those guys versus LeBron James. Now, obviously, the older players, your George Mikins and Will Chamberlains, Jerry West, Dr. J, Moses Malone, these guys played well before 1997, so you're not going to get even a snippet of what they did. And a lot of these guys, the ones that are on here, you only get the edge of their career, only a little part of it, most of them. So again, it's not really apples to apples because most people are going to struggle as they get older shooting the ball.
Exactly.
So you don't have the raise you used to get. But getting right into it, how did LeBron James do against all the top 75 players that you could actually track? Well, let's see. LeBron James from 10 to 16 feet for his...
Wow. So for 10 to 16 feet, you're shooting under 40%. So imagine if most of his shots were between 10 to 24 feet. The field goal percentage says nothing. Off the bat. Don't even have to look at this whole list. But anyway, let's get into it. Worse than everybody. Except a few.
Career shot 37.2%. From 16 feet to three-point line, 38.6%. That's his numbers. Well, Ray Allen was 43.4 on each one. Better than LeBron. Giannis, from 10 to 16 feet, 37.7. So he's ahead of LeBron on that one. LeBron is ahead on Giannis on the 16.
And Giannis is a horrible shooter. So Giannis is a horrible shooter. And LeBron is barely better than him. Let that sink in. But Giannis has a high field goal percentage. It's very high because most of his shot attempts are close to the basket. He dominates when he plays to his strengths. Right? LeBron probably will most likely dominate more if he stops shooting. If he just play down low, but doesn't have post game. He just bulldozes his way to the basket, charges and flops.
15 foot to the three-point line. All right, there's one. Of course, he does have more years to maybe make up for it. But as of right now, LeBron has a better shooting percentage. But Giannis is not exactly known as a good jump shooter. Carmelo Anthony, he's 4'10 and 4'16. Above LeBron. Charles Barkley, you only get his last 4 seasons. That's it. LeBron is ahead of Barkley's last 4 seasons. Barkley's at 34.6, so LeBron's ahead of that one. But Barkley beats him in the 16-foot to three-point line by over 5%.
That's crazy.
Kobe was...
You guys keep saying LeBron's more efficient than Kobe. No, it's not. He just takes most of his shots close to the basket. From 10 to 24 feet, Kobe, look at it. The percentage is not even close. It's not even close. And Kobe takes contested twos, contested fadeaway shots over 2 guys, and he's still a better shooter than LeBron. That's sad. I will say this. Kobe took a lot of shots that and were not the greatest shots. Sure. But even with that, his percentages are higher. The LeBron fans, try to figure this out. Is 43% higher than 37%? Is 40% higher than the 9%? If you stat nerds, can you do math here? Nah, you look at it, you say it's AI, and you pretend like you didn't see it. Like LeBron James fans tend to do.
43 and 40.2. Steph Curry, 46.3 and 46.5.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But I wish because different eras is tough to compare because it's easier to score now than it was in the 90s and early 2000s. But anyways, because even if I look at Tim Duncan, that will be much higher in today's NBA for sure. It wouldn't be 40%, right? And another thing that's surprising me here too, that Kobe's is higher than Tim Duncan.
Anthony Davis, he's at 42%. That's better on the 10 to 16. And then he tied LeBron 16 foot to three-point. They're tied currently. Clyde Drexler, just his last 2 seasons, LeBron is better than Drexler from 10 to 16 feet, but Drexler is better than LeBron from 16 foot to the three-point line. Tim Duncan, 405 and 410, is a better mid-range shooter than LeBron James is. Look it up. Kevin Durant, better.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your...
Patrick Ewing, better. Kevin Garnett, James Harden, every one of these guys, better. Allen Iverson, he's just below LeBron on the 10 to 16 foot, but 16 foot to three-point line, Iverson is better. So there's one right there for LeBron. So he's got one on Giannis and one on Iverson for players who played a full career.
Wow, this is amazing. Great video. You must have done a lot of research to come to this conclusion. A lot of effort for this video. Props to you.
Michael Jordan, of course not. We know better. Jason Kidd, LeBron is better from 10 to 16 feet, but from 16 feet to the three-point line, Kidd is better. So Giannis 16 foot to three-point, Iverson and Kidd 10 to 16 feet. He's better than that. That's it. out of 20 guys. Now, granted, Barkley and Drexler.
And for Iverson too, for his case, he's very short and a harder time to score, and a lot of the shots were contested. So for him, he's like 6 foot. He's probably short. He's definitely shorter than that, shooting close to LeBron. And LeBron's 6'9". So the context there it needs to be added, because scoring for a guard that short during that time extremely difficult. So Allen Iverson's 4 scoring titles are more impressive than a lot of scoring titles now, because of how small he was compared to everyone and how physical it was back then. If you go look up how many injuries he had during that time, it was insane. It was insane. He would destroy the NBA now. With the rules now, yes, absolutely.
You only got a piece of their career, and he did tie Anthony Davis. Okay, how about the rest of them? Steve Nash, one of the best shooters ever. No chance. Dirk Nowitzki, same thing. No chance.
Steve Nash was a pretty good shooter, but it didn't shoot a lot of shots though.
Shaq. LeBron, you're a better mid-range shooter than Shaq. There you go. Hakeem Olajuwon. Nope. Olajuwon, the better mid-range shooter. Robert Parrish. Now, he only played 1 season, and it's ridiculous, Steve, but I put it on there because he was a top 75 player. He actually bested LeBron 10-16, but come on, you're talking about probably 15 or 18 shots versus an entire 22-year career, so it's stupid. And then, of course, Parrish was 0 on the 16 3-point. He was 0 for 3. It shouldn't even count, but he was a top 75 player, so I put him in there, whatever. Chris Paul. Nope. Gary Payton, Paul Pierce, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson. Nope. Dennis Rodman.
That's crazy.
Okay, LeBron, you are a better mid-range shooter than Dennis Rodman's last 4 seasons. Congratulations. John Stockton. Nope. Dwayne Wade, not from 10 to 16 feet, but from 16 to 3-point line, they're tied.
That's
Russell
crazy.
Westbrook.
Dwayne Wade wasn't really a good shooter either. And the funny thing is, his field goal percentage and LeBron's field goal percentage are higher than Kobe Bryant's. And the media wants to tell you, oh, Kobe's so inefficient. They don't watch the games. Because when if I were to defend LeBron and Dwayne Wade, I would force them to shoot. If they shot mainly jump shots the whole game, those would be their percentages. But if they go to the basket, obviously that's going to be higher.
10 to 16 foot, but 16 to 3-point line. He is a little bit better than Westbrook, but only on one of them. Westbrook, Dominique Wilkins. He only played 2 sporadic seasons, and even that, only one of them. But out of all these guys, the only ones who played a full career, top 75 players that you could track, the only ones he was better than was one of Giannis's, one of Iverson's, one of Jason Kidd's, and one of Russell Westbrook's.
Damn.
That's it. That is
That's
lot.
crazy.
I don't know if people even realize.
And people were roasting Westbrook. They keep calling him Westbrick, but if you call him Westbrick, you have to call LeBron LeBrick, because the numbers show it. Are we gonna pretend we don't see this? Are we gonna pretend?
What that means. He's a worse mid-range shooter than Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. Big guys. Karl Malone. Oh man, what a joke. Patrick Ewing is a better mid-range shooter than LeBron James is. Now, the other thing I looked at is free throws. Now, I did a video about LeBron being one of the worst MVP free throw shooters of all time that wasn't a center or a power forward, because typically those guys are not very good free throw shooters. He did miserable. In fact, he's the lowest 4 on the list of MVPs, free throw shooting, that was not a power forward or a center. I think it was like 31 or 32 MVPs. He's got the bottom 4. That's a laugher. Free throw percentage versus all the top 75 players. That you can track the whole careers of. So going in alphabetical order, LeBron James is 73.7% career free.
That's crazy, man. Tim Duncan surprising how low that is for Tim Duncan. These are criteria that should add to the greatest of all time debates. These are things that don't show you. They only show you things that are sort of subjective. They don't show you these analytics. They don't. Like, honestly, to be called the greatest of all time, you should be pretty good across the board. You cannot be a bad free throw shooter. You cannot have a lot of turnovers. You have to be well-rounded. And these are things that don't show you. That's just my opinion. But anyways.
Throw shooter. Who did he best? So here we go in alphabetical order. He's 1.6% better than Kareem. Giannis actually should have been highlighted red here, but
Ray Allen, that's nice.
4% better than Giannis. So there's 2 guys. Barkley, 0.2% better than Barkley. I thought Barkley was a little better than that, but apparently not. Not Dave Bing, not Larry Bird, not Kobe. Wilt Chamberlain, there's 4. Not Bob Cousy, not Dave Cowens. Billy Cunningham, there's 5. Not Steph Curry, not Anthony Davis. Dave DeBusschere, there's 6.
That's impressive. 91% from the free throw line, man. That's insane. Also, Ray Allen is really good. Larry Bird is really good too. Those are the type of people you want at the end of the game taking the free throws. 80%, not really, honestly. You can count on those individuals to show up during the clutch.
Not Drexler. Duncan, there's 7. Not KD, not Dr. J, not Ewing, not Frazier. Well, Kevin Garnett, nope. Gervin, nope. Hal Greer,
What? Not better than Kevin Garnett?
nope. Harden, Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, there's 8. Allen Iverson, Magic Johnson, Sam Jones, Michael Jordan, Jason Kidd, Damian Lillard, Jerry Lucas, Karl Malone, Moses Malone, Pete Maravich, Bob McAdoo, Kevin McHale, George Mikan, Reggie Miller, Earl Monroe, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Shaquille O'Neal. There's number 9. Hakeem Olajuwon, there's 10. Robert Parrish, there's 11. Gary Payton, there's 12. Scottie Pippen.
I am in shock watching this video.
The guy that saved Jordan's career. There's 13. Poor free throw shooter. David Robinson, barely. That's 14. Dennis Rodman, Bill Russell, that's 16. Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, and Bill Walton. That is 19 players out of 76. I would put him in the bottom quarter now, wouldn't it? The bottom quarter of all top 75 players.
If you own a professional
How can you call him the greatest of all time? How?
services company, like you're a doctor, lawyer, accountant, financial advisor, the biggest challenge is getting people who don't know you to trust you as the expert. But over the last 5 years, social media.
LeBron James is that bad of a free throw shooter. Terrible mid-range, terrible free throw. So basically what it comes down to is, when it comes to offense, now you can say whatever you want about his passing ability. He's an above average passer, no doubt. I'll never say anything other than that. But he's not Magic level. He's not Bob.
Exactly. He's not. He's not. And honestly, I'll say he's a good passer, but if you average 7 assists and 4 turnovers, I have questions. All right. People want to say IQ this, IQ that. I don't see it. I don't see it. There's way too many compilations of nonsensical turnovers. So you can go out. If you said he's average, I would agree with that. But let's just say he's good for the sake of this video. It's a bit overrated, I would say, comparing his passing ability to Magic Johnson. It's disrespectful to Magic Johnson.
Boozy. He's not Larry Bird. Stop with that stuff. But yes, LeBron is definitely a good passer, no doubt about it. But when it comes to shooting the ball, especially in traffic with a defender on him, LeBron is just not a good shooter. What do you want me to say? He has gotten better shooting wide open, uncontested three-pointers. He can drive to the basket. He has all kinds of tricks, hooks, forearms, shoulders, switch and pivot feet.
Didn't I say that?
He's got all the tricks to make the layups. He's been doing it for years. The league lets him get away with it. We all know about this stuff. But overall, LeBron James is a horrible shooter compared to the elite players in NBA history. He just did. Just showed.
And the thing is, most of them, not a couple of elite players, most of them, we see it here. Are we going to pretend we didn't see it? Really, folks, are we going to pretend?
What's your counterpoint to that? He's a poor shooter. That's a pretty important part of playing basketball. Unless you're Shaq or you're Russell or Wilt Chamberlain or somebody who just plays basically right around the rim. So he was only a high-level defender for a handful of years. He was never a good shooter, never a good free throw shooter. So other than passing and driving to the basket, what's this GOAT stuff? I don't think so. This guy has so many flaws and deficiencies. It's not funny. And people have the nerve to come on here and talk about, oh, you're cherry picking. Do me a favor, go cherry pick anything you want about Michael Jordan. Go ahead.
Oof, it will take you forever. You can't find anything. What can you say? 3-point shooting? With 3-point shooting, the league average was around, I would say, between 30 to 35%. Michael Jordan was there. So what can you say? He's an average 3-point shooter in a time people didn't shoot threes like that. That's the only thing you have at that point. But he didn't win with that Scottie Pippen. But people don't mention that the time Scottie Pippen brought the team to the Western Conference Finals, they added like 3 players. That weren't on the team when Jordan left. Interesting how to leave out that fact. Anyways.
Cherry pick anything you want. Pick any topic you want. Let me see what you come up with. Exactly. It's not that easy to somebody who really had no flaw. He was an average 3-point shooter. Absolutely.
See, I said it. I think I know basketball. I believe I do.
1 year, whether they brought the line in or not, Michael Jordan was top 10 in 3-point percentage. Look that up. I think it was 97. Top 10 in the NBA. LeBron has never been.
Top 10 in the NBA for somebody that's considered a bad 3-point shooter. Interesting. So stats don't lie. Okay? All right.
Top 10 in the NBA. But yet Nick Wright will say stuff like, well, LeBron is shooting as good as Steph Curry from 3 this year. Because Curry shoots 3 times as much as he does.
That's a fact. If I take 2 shots a game and I make both of them, and I keep doing that every game, I pick and choose which shots to take, maybe a couple of layups a game, my field goal percentage should be the highest ever. It doesn't say anything. If you're a volume scorer, if you shoot, let's say 20 shots a game, you make 9 of them, most of them are mid-range shots, versus if you take, I don't know, 14 shots a game, most of them are layups. Does it really say anything? It doesn't say much. I wish when comparisons are being made, context is added. But people are emotional. People want to support their favorite player. I understand that. But at the same time, we need to add context before jumping to conclusions.
Of course he's going to miss more. He just shoots way more. It's the same thing as when they try to make this field goal percentage case. As if general field goal percentage is going to tell you anything. It's so stupid.
And it's even the name field, which means whole court. It doesn't give you details. You need to dive in. You need to Google things. The stat sheets are there. You guys say stats don't lie, but you refuse to look at it. You only look at points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage. That's it. You don't look at turnovers. You don't look at, I don't know what else you don't look at field goal percentage, turnovers, the time you have the ball. I guess that, I wish that was a stat. The amount of, I guess, you can call it, I don't know. I'm losing my thoughts. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
Steph Curry doesn't shoot 50% from the field. I think maybe once or twice he did. But he doesn't shoot 50% from the field. DeAndre Jordan, Tyson Chandler, Shaquille O'Neal, Will Chamberlain, all these guys shoot 50%. Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale. Why do you think that is? The crazy narratives they come up with and the people that follow it is hard to believe unless you didn't actually witness it. Because it's real. These guys are a bunch of clowns. Here's your boy.
Yep, I agree. Anyways, I'll stop the video there. To add to what I was trying to say, fans tend to pick stats that favor their guy. So they only talk about points, rebounds, assists. They never talk about free throw percentage, turnovers, and stuff in that category. They're only mentioning surface level things that don't give enough details. All right. Anyways, I encourage you to do your own homework, not to jump to conclusions and bring context into conversations that involve comparing eras. It's very tough to do. Anyways, great video. Thank you so much for reacting with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned for more reaction videos. God bless. Metro Boomin, want some more, nigga.